Welcome back to. Oh God, I really should do this beforehand, shouldn't I? What episode is this? Is it 9? It's
Episode
9. It's 9 because
94.
next week is 10. I remember now. Yeah, episode 9.
Episode 94.
And we're gonna do something a bit different this week, aren't we, Gio? Instead of coming in it with like a specific topic, we're gonna just talk about this week's gaming news and gaming, pop culture, movies. Basically, it's been a pretty busy week, hasn't it? So we were like, you know what? We may as well, rather than just chatting to ourselves. In relation to the situation, it's been a busy week.
Yeah. In the new age of entertainment media, yes, it has been a busy week.
Yeah.
I think, should we start off with the big one that annoyed you, and we'll move on from there? Because I think you need to get this off your chest,
There's two things that could apply to. So which specific one do you mean?
I want to start off with the Nintendo Direct. Because full disclosure, I'm not a big Nintendo person, never had a DS or anything like that. Even now, like, my friends keep telling me buy a Switch. I'm like, no, I've got a PS5, I'm happy. Like,
no, genuinely buy a Switch.
See what I'm saying?
Buy a Switch.
So I'm not bothered about Nintendo. So Finton is gonna school me and tell me why this Nintendo Direct was trash.
I'm not gonna school you. Right. The thing is, let's be honest, there isn't much to look forward to at the minute. So the idea of a Nintendo Direct for me, it got me excited, especially with it being like, what is it? It's the 35th anniversary of Mario, continuing from last year. It's meant to be the 35th anniversary of Zelda that's starting this year. There's also the 25th anniversary of Pokemon. Like, there was so many things that could have made this. Yeah, now you see why I'm so angry. There was so many things that could make this Direct incredible.
3 different anniversaries.
Yeah, that Direct included nothing Pokemon, literally nothing. There was there any Mario? There was Mario Golf was the only Mario thing that was announced, which I mean, it's not too bad. I probably will end up buying it. They announced that they're going to have
that other Mario game, didn't they? That we're reviewing. Well, Finton's reviewing it, but what's it called? 3D World?
Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. But yeah, just. The only interesting thing in that Direct was that they're doing a Skyward Sword remake. And I think I'm one of the only people that genuinely is excited by it because I'm one of the only people that didn't play it. Like, when you look at people that have played the game, they were like, this is the worst Zelda they could have picked.
I was just going to say, what caliber of Zelda is that? Because there's ones that people really love, like obviously Breath of the Wild, but then I hear like Wind Waker gets a lot of shit.
Yeah, so basically, Wind Waker's got less hate than Skyward Sword. Basically, I think everybody's
just because when Wind Waker was announced, they had that really cool gameplay trailer, didn't they, with like the realistic graphics.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, "You get Wind Waker," and people were like, "What?"
Yeah, actually, I remember that. But yeah, it was just. I think what I was reading before, because like me, basically everything me and Gio do, apart from he's not invested in Nintendo, I was looking at loads of like Reddit rumors and stuff, and there was basically a rumor going around that they were going to announce, like, you know, like how they did Super Mario 3D All-Stars, where they had like the collection of the 3 old games. Basically, people were thinking they were going to do Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, and then Twilight Princess for Zelda. And
I don't know why they don't.
I honestly don't get it, because I got into Zelda with Breath of the Wild. So any old game, I'm like, I will play because I've never played it before, and I absolutely love Zelda now because of Breath of the Wild. Like, I've already pre-ordered Skyward Sword, but it's just annoying that it's. No, I'm one of those people that like Nintendo will eventually give me bonuses for pre-ordering it, so I'll just pre-order it now.
Fair play. I personally don't pre-order games. I mean, Cyberpunk, look at that. But
I didn't even pre-order that, and I still got screwed. I just bought it.
What else was at the? Well, what else wasn't there at the Direct? I guess really. So no Mario, no Pokemon.
There was no Mario. It was like Yeah. So they started talking about Breath of the Wild 2, and they were like, "We'll have something to tell you further into the year." So I was like, "Fair enough. That's pretty cool." I like the fact that was what they. At least they gave us an update. And what I was reading a lot of is people were really happy. At least they didn't just leave us in the dark. And I'm like, I kind of have to agree, because I'm like, at least they said it's going well, but we have nothing to show you at the minute, rather than just not addressing it at all. But it is still kind of annoying because it's been in development for like, I don't even know at this point.
the direct was what, 50 minutes? You said nearly an hour, and usually a direct is 20 minutes. I like I said, I'm not a Nintendo fan, but even I know they're usually quite short little things.
The thing is,
50-minute one is going to be a big deal.
Were, like, nobody cared.
Yeah, I heard
like
Splatoon
the games
3.
that they were giving out were just Splatoon 3. I am genuinely interested for, but that's solely because I loved Splatoon 2. But it's 2022. It's coming out.
The thing with Splatoon is though, like, yeah, okay, it's definitely like me and Finton were talking about this the other day, right? And I said I don't see the hype, right? But he told me that among the Nintendo community, it's quite a big thing. But that's the problem, in my opinion, is that it's a big thing among the Nintendo community. Like, even though I do not own a Switch, I have played Mario, or like any Nintendo devices, I have played Mario, you know, like everyone's played Mario, or I've tried Mario Kart, and I haven't played Zelda, but I know what Zelda is like. Everyone talks about that. Whereas Splatoon, I'm like, you got to be quite into Nintendo to like be bothered about Splatoon.
I think the thing with Splatoon is it is a multiplayer game. Like, unlike Mario and unlike Zelda, it is true. Like, they're games you can experience yourself, whereas Splatoon is you're playing with people online. Like, there is no story mode to the original one. It's Battlefront 2 on Switch, basically.
I was gonna say, imagine if you'd sat through the whole 50 minutes right waiting for like a big reveal, and then right at the end they announced that Arms 2. Imagine if that had been the big reveal.
Oh my!
I think that's it. I think people would have like started like.
I would have. I'm gonna be honest. I probably would have yeeted my Switch out the window. I would have been like, "Nope, done. Goodbye."
I mean, aren't there reports? Like, I know these are like rumors and stuff, but weren't there reports as well of like a Nintendo Switch Pro? This kind of interested me, like a Pro version of the Switch where it would run. But it's still not going to be. Stuff.
Yeah, that's it. It would just run at 4K. That would be the only difference. It wouldn't change frame rate or anything. It would just be at 4K. Okay. But that's the thing with a system that, like, I have my Switch right here. With a system that is this small, like, you can't run. Also, yes, I have this Mario themed one because I'm an idiot. But actually, no, I'm not. I love Super Mario Odyssey. So, but you can't get the same horsepower as you can in like this compared to my PS5. It's like my PS5 is like 5 times bigger than the Switch. So I'm like, it's never going to compare. But I do think they just need to start bringing out games, because like the Switch life started so well, and now this last year it's just been stuttering. Like, with most of them being remakes as well, or just giving out games that are on Wii U. I'm just like, that's just
Yeah, their lineup isn't very impressive. Like, I mean, in terms of exclusives, like, yes, they have all these big properties, Pokemon, you know, Zelda, Mario. That's it.
But there's nothing announced though. But like, at least I'm like,
if you're not doing anything with it. No, I was just gonna say, if you're not doing anything with it, what's the point in having them? It's like Konami owning Silent Hills. They own Silent Hills and do absolutely nothing with Silent Hills, and it's like, it's just a waste of a good property. Sell it to Sony. Let Kojima make his game. God damn it!
No, I mean, like, at least with like a PlayStation or an Xbox, like, you know, Halo Infinite's coming out. You know, God of War Ragnarok's coming out. You know, like, there's meant to be a Last of Us multiplayer thing. Yeah, eventually, like, they're coming out.
Ragnarok will not be out 2021. Like,
it won't.
There's no way.
There is no way in hell it will.
It's February. It is currently February the 19th, right? We still know nothing about this game. All we've had is like a 12-second teaser of the logo. And you know, it's not even officially called Ragnarok. That's just the title, like.
Yeah, it was just Ragnarok is coming, so everyone's called it God of War Ragnarok.
We don't even know if that's the name of it. So, man, there's no way that's coming out this year. But
it's either going to be very, very, like, last week of 2021, or it'll be next year.
Yeah.
Either way, I don't care.
If it comes out, it'll be Christmas period, like, just to buy into that Christmas hype. But yeah, sorry, let's switch back to see what I did there. Switch back to the Nintendo Direct.
I like that.
I didn't even literally off the top of my head, I should be a comedian, but no, I lied. But yeah, so it was just disappointing. It was just disappointing.
Yeah, basically. Genuinely, there was just nothing like I said, with not much going on at the minute, I got way too overexcited for it, especially when it says in the Direct.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely on the screen before, it was like, we'll be talking about games that will be coming the first half of 2021. And none of them are coming first half of 2021. Like, if anybody can do any sort of what?
Zelda. I thought Zelda was.
Nope, it's coming July. That's the 7th month.
Lol.
That's second half of 2021.
Lol. And that's a remake anyway. Remaster, sorry, not even a remake.
It's not even a remaster. It's just a HD version.
Oh, just a HD port.
It's literally Skyward Sword HD. That's it.
Oh wow, that is
Yeah, because Nintendo really can't do remasters. They can't do remaster the games because they don't have the horsepower in the console to remake a game. So it is literally just make it HD. They either have to go.
They could remake it in the Breath of the Wild engine. That would be interesting. But
yeah,
then
that's
it would just
true.
become
But
Breath of the Wild.
The thing. I think Breath of the Wild has maxed out what the Switch can do. It genuinely.
You know what I think is
straight out of the bat.
You know what I think is interesting about Breath of the Wild, right? So again, full disclosure, I've not actually played Breath of the Wild. So my perception of the game is based off what people have told me and what I've seen. And also, this sounds dumb, but it's also partially based off Phoenix, Immortals Rising.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck that game is called. Because apparently they're really, really similar. And I really enjoyed Phoenix, so I have no doubt that I would enjoy Breath of the Wild. But the thing is so everyone's really, really hyped for a Breath of the Wild sequel, right? I feel like that game's kind of done all its tricks. It's like, let's take the open world genre and really, so first they opened up the open world again, which is cool. Like you can go and fight the boss straight away. I like that. That's a really cool concept. Did that. Phoenix also does something like that. So it's kind of what made Breath of the Wild special is already been done again now. So if Breath of the Wild 2 is just more Breath of the Wild,
the thing is though,
underwhelming.
What I am going to say, no, it won't though, because this is something you will only get if you're playing Breath of the Wild. Like it won't happen in Phoenix, but in Breath of the Wild, I've spent like 140 hours or so in that game. Still haven't finished it. Like I bought the DLC. I finished the first bit, but the Master Trials I'm not good enough to finish. So I've spent so many hours trying to do them and failed. But if they were to go, Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out tomorrow, I would still drop everything and probably put more time than I did in the original. Because it's
of course,
just
I'm not saying people.
Oh no, I'm not saying that at all. But it's not that Immortals has copied it and everyone else is gonna you cannot beat that formula. That is like the Zelda one. It is perfect. There is not a single thing wrong with that game.
I think the
so
thing
I
with
wouldn't
Zelda
care if they copy and paste it.
Obviously, because you would come on now. You would care if they copy and pasted it, but because it's made by Nintendo. The story,
as long as I don't know how it's going to end, I would happily put another 140 hours into Breath of the Wild 2.
So you would literally just be happy with Breath of the Wild 2 to be exact same mechanics, everything from the first one, no changes, just story changes.
They are flawless. I'm not even kidding. There is nothing they could improve upon.
That is insane.
I'm being serious.
The only game I can think of where I've done that right is Spider-Man PS4 to Spider-Man Miles Morales, right? Where I did not care that Miles Morales was set in the same world, same traversal mechanics, same combat. Because I mean, they switched combat a little bit in Miles Morales, but that's the only game I've ever played that I had that sort of motivation to do. And the main things for me were, story.
I'm exactly the same.
So story was one. Another one was traversal. Traversing in Spider-Man games makes up, in my opinion, like half the game. So they nailed that in the original. They did it again in Miles Morales. They made it better in Miles Morales. And so that was like, even though it was the same, but like very slightly tweaked, I was like, I don't care because it's so good. So you're saying that Breath of the Wild, literally just every single mechanic in that game.
Genuinely, exactly what you're talking about. It is exactly the same in Breath of the Wild. I agree with you on the whole Miles Morales, Spider-Man, like of the original to Miles Morales. I agree with you exactly the same. I didn't want anything changing. And the little bits they did, it made it feel different. It made it feel, it was tiny changes, but it made it feel majorly different. And I quite like that. So if they did that, it's just a tiny change. Yeah, exactly. So if they did that in Breath of the Wild, I would be absolutely perfectly happy with that. Like, I don't like Miles Morales as much as I like the original Spider-Man, but that's not because of anything the game does. That's just because I played them back to back and I kind of burnt myself out.
hot take on, sorry, just now that we're on the subject, right? I actually think I prefer Miles Morales' character in this Spider-Verse that they're creating than over Peter. Not in the sense of I think Miles is a better Spider-Man. I just think it's, first of all, like, yeah, it's cool that we got the representation. But deeper than that, like, I just think, like, Peter in the newer games, he's mad relatable, don't get me wrong, like, especially to me, like, I've been in some of those awkward situations that he's been in, you know, like, I get it, but
I can't get, just honestly, I've got to cut in now because you just reminded me of the funniest thing. You know, in the first game.
Let me just say, there's just something about Miles Morales' arc in that game of like dealing with like a bit of like imposter syndrome, you know, he feels like he isn't, like, man, that scene where him and Genki are in the room and he's like talking about Spider-Man and Genki goes, bro, whenever you say Spider-Man, you're talking about the other guy, but you're Spider-Man. And that moment of like, it just clicks in Miles Morales, right? Damn, like, that's amazing. And you know what? I've played Miles Morales twice. Both times I got to the end, nearly cried. When May, spoilers, when May dies in the original, I'm emotional when May dies, right? Brought like
I cried at both. I cried at both.
Yeah, I know you did. I know you did, but man, like, I don't know. I'm not saying I 100% definitively think
to be
Miles
fair,
is better and I prefer Miles,
I do,
but I just really loved playing Miles' story, and maybe because it was shorter and more focused, I felt more connected to him because I was like, this is crazy. Like, it's just hit after hit after hit. Like, your friend is evil, your uncle is dodgy, your dad is dead. Like, I mean, I know your dad dies before, but you're constantly dealing with that throughout the game. Like, and then
now you just put it out. I'm like, how is this dude a superhero? As soon as you list it all out, I'm like, know. Jesus.
But he, like, there's just hit after hit, and like Miles just keeps persevering through everything, and I just love that. Whereas Peter definitely has that, but I feel like I've seen Peter do that across multiple comics, multiple films, multiple games. Like, I've had enough of seeing Peter Parker.
The game, though, is because the game went,
that's why
we're going to give you Peter when he's confident. We're going to give you Peter when he's 8 years into this and he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, definitely, which is sick. And maybe that's why the Miles resonated with me more, right? Because I'm so used even though we all say we don't need the origin story, it's nice to have an origin story, especially for Miles, who like hasn't really had one in. He had Spider-Verse, to be fair, which is like the biggest mainstream thing he's had.
Spider-Verse is beautiful.
But I just put, Spider-Verse 10 out of 10 movie. Everything about it is perfect. Just go watch it. But it's on Netflix in 4K, Ultra HD, HDR support. So go and watch that if you've got all those things. But man, that game.
Just honestly, there is one thing I want to say I love about Miles Morales so much, just before we move on, because we do have other things to talk about, don't worry. But yeah, you know those scenes on the rooftop at the start of the game and at the end of the game where it's Miles and Peter.
Did you just see me fall? Sorry.
Yeah, I did. I was trying to carry on. I was like, nope, goodbye.
No. Yeah, sorry, carry on.
But yeah, you know the bit at the start where they're both sitting on the ledge and just having a conversation, and then the same thing happens at the end. I'm like, they are just beautiful. I love seeing Peter as a mentor rather than...
And they swap it so that Miles is drinking the coffee. And I liked that moment because to me, again, it kind of... I feel like Miles Morales... I'm going to stop talking about it. We'll go back to the Nintendo Direct and move on. But I just want to say, the Miles Morales game, despite being a spin-off, right, was a better sequel to Spider-Man PS4 than most full-fledged sequels are to their respective games.
Absolutely.
Like, and people complained about the length of it. They were like, oh, the story only lasts like 5 hours or like 8 hours and stuff. And I'm like, bro, why do you care? Like, there's so much content there. You've got the story, then you've got the new game plus mode where you can unlock new abilities. You've got all the abilities to unlock, the challenges, the open world stuff. It's snowing in New York. You're telling me you don't want to spend time nighttime in New York in Times Square when it's snowing as Spider-Man. Sold the game to me. I put ray tracing on sometimes and I just go to Times Square and just sit there and look at it. And I'm like, wow, this is next gen.
You definitely like this game a lot more. You definitely like this game a lot more than me, but I will admit it is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I like it more than Finton, but Spider-Man 2, I really hope we get some sort of co-op or something. Oh, can you imagine? Imagine if we get co-op and we can play select co-op missions together. They put in like 10 co-op missions, right? And we just go through them together. You can be Peter, I'll be Miles.
Gio. Don't do this. I did this during the direct and it just hurts. Don't do this.
Oh my God. Insomniac, hire me. Nah, I'm playing, but that game is amazing. But let's quickly pop back into the direct news and then we'll move on to happier things, I guess.
Well, I mean, yeah, true. I don't really know what else there was to say about it. It was just genuinely disappointing. Like the Splatoon thing had me interested, but then it said 2022, and I was just like, "Well, you could have just done this as a trailer rather than as a direct." Like,
yeah, it's not great that they did that. I'm not gonna lie,
especially considering it's been like 4 months since we had one, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's the longest one." Like, it just they hyped it up to be something it just really wasn't.
Yeah, it was never going to be that good. I mean, you definitely overhyped yourself too, but.
Oh yeah, it was entirely my own fault. But I'm like, I thought Nintendo would deliver. Like I said, like you were surprised by how many anniversaries they were. So we all thought, oh yeah, they'll do that. Because like the support they gave Mario last year, they gave him his own game. They like, you know what I mean? He has his own game, but it's like specifically, this is like the history of Mario. They had events in Nintendo NYC. They had loads of stuff going on, and then Zelda and Pokemon just don't get the same treatment. They get a McDonald's Happy Meal.
Yeah, it's weird. Which, especially, I know Mario is kind of their mascot, but like, I think Zelda is probably.
Pokemon. It goes Pokemon, Mario, Zelda in terms of like what makes them the most money.
The thing is, Pokemon. We'll just say this point about Pokemon, and we will talk about other things. We promise. But the things with Pokemon is like, I didn't even know. Right, this is how big Pokemon is. When I was a kid, and even up until like maybe last year, I didn't know that Pokemon was originally a game that was adapted into the TV show. I used to think that the TV show was the original.
I have the games.
Thing.
I have the original games.
That's crazy. But yeah, I used to think that the TV show was used to adapt the games, not the games were used to adapt the TV show. Like, that is how big Pokemon is. Like, I didn't know that. That's insane. But
to be fair, I did grow up watching that. Like genuinely watching those back to back. You go from playing a Pokemon game on your DS to watching the anime on TV. There was no better childhood. It was so good. Love that, but anyway,
not playing.
Let's move on.
Watching, but
we've spent too long on this. What do you want to do next?
We have
Snyder Cut or the Mortal Kombat trailer?
Let's talk about the Mortal Kombat trailer, just because I've got a few thoughts on it. I think the Snyder Cut is quite meaty. We'll leave that till later, and then if people are interested, you guys can, you'll wait it out, I guess. But we won't spend long on.
If you don't like this, skip ahead.
I've never played Mortal Kombat, but it's on the PS Plus collection, so I think I'm going to download. Huh?
Wait, is it on the PS Plus? Bro, I am downloading Mortal Kombat right now.
Yeah, it's Mortal Kombat 10.
Right now,
so it's not the latest.
It's being done. It's being done.
Okay, fair play. He don't waste no time, but
I didn't realize it was a thing.
So I can multitask. Let's both flex. But yeah, the thing is like, I've never been bothered about Mortal Kombat, but not because of the IP, just because I'm not a fighting game person.
Yeah, but if it's on PS Plus, we can play it together. That's literally why I'm gonna get it.
You guys want to see me v Finton in Mortal Kombat? Let us know, and we'll do a video on that.
Oh, that's happening. I don't care. I don't care if you want to see it or not. That would be cool. I'm whooping him.
Oh, okay.
I am whooping him. I don't care.
That's fine. You didn't even know it was on there, big man. But
yeah, because I just haven't touched the PS Plus collection.
Oh, I've touched nearly every game in that collection. But anyway,
that sounds so wrong.
Yeah, I know. I realized as I said it. I was hoping you wouldn't realize, but it's Mortal Kombat 10. Oh my God. So it's 10, not the most recent one. The most recent one.
I mean, if this is decent, I might think about getting 11. Depends if it's any good.
The thing is, from what I hear, from what I understand of, sorry, it's queued for downloading, guys. But from what I understand, the movie has nothing to do with the games other than simply the fact that
it's characters. Yeah,
it's characters from the game.
There's the dude that has, in the trailer, the dude that goes like that and shows the brand on his chest.
Yeah.
He's not a game character. He is a movie, brand new character. Like, he's a movie original character.
I thought that. And so, again, we're coming from this as the perspective of we're not Mortal Kombat fans.
Like, I know Sub-Zero, Scorpio, and that's it.
Yeah, of course I know Liu Kang. I don't know who Liu Kang is. I just know his name.
Jax as well.
I thought it was weird to have a character in this movie that is not from the games. I don't know how I felt about that. I didn't really like that. I thought,
I'm on a very different side to you. I love this idea because it means that they could genuinely could make a original story just with the supporting cast rather than trying to do what so many video game adaptations do and just do the game as a film. So I think making an original character will work. So I'm hoping it comes out in 5 weeks anyway. So we'll find out. But to me, my headphone's about to die. So let me just remove that. It just seems like such a good, I don't know. It seems they're being different. And I'm I really like that idea.
Listen, I'm not denying it could work. I'm not saying I don't want it to work. I'm happy for them to do that. But I just don't know if it will be any good, but we'll see. So something that me and Finton both picked up on was the CGI in some places was really good. Like when Sub-Zero's freezing the bullets from the guy's gun coming out, class. That was brilliant. But I can't remember the character. I feel like the character is called Goro or something. Is the one with loads of arms. He looked messy, man. He did not look good in the trailer at all.
To be fair, one of the things that made me it's one of the points where the CGI is incredible.
CGI going on there.
Yeah. The bit is right at the end, where it's Sub-Zero fighting Scorp. I don't know who he's fighting, but whoever Sub-Zero fights at the end, the bit where he freezes the blood and then uses that to stab the... I was like...
Yeah, that was crazy.
That may be the dopest, that may be the dopest fight sequence I've seen in a film for a long, long time.
This guy said dope about 5 times today, I'm sure of it. But anyway, it did look cool. It did look cool.
Only once in the podcast.
We'll see about that when I go through and look at this footage. But
all right, fine.
But the trailer looked cool. The trailer did look cool. Like I say, I'm not invested in this as a Mortal Kombat fan, but as a video game fan, I'm invested. To me, honestly, because I want video games just because to be good, man.
It's a new film. That's genuinely one of the reasons I'm most interested. Is it's a film that's coming out. That's the reason I'm genuinely excited about it, because it'll be something to watch.
And from reactions that I'm seeing on YouTube, on the internet and stuff, people that are fans of the series seem into it. They seem like they want to go and watch it, and they seem like they want to enjoy it. So
my biggest issue though,
got the fans,
and this actually, to be fair, this will actually link with the Snyder Cut. As you can see, I've got Snyder Cut Joker behind me. But the biggest issue with these is, I've already said it, but my biggest issue with Mortal Kombat and with the Snyder Cut is they're only coming to HBO Max. So that won't be an issue for us, because I know we're going to get HBO Max so we can review the Snyder Cut, because that's just something we want to do. So we'll still be able to watch Mortal Kombat, because you have to pay a month subscription. I'll pay for it. I don't mind.
I'm going to use his HBO Max.
Yeah, he's going to steal my HBO Max. But
if it's good, then I might pay for it. But we'll see.
Yeah, but I'm I don't mind that, because they're coming out within a month of each other. The Snyder Cut's March 18th, and then Mortal Kombat is April 16th. So I'll only have to pay for 1 month to watch them both. So I don't mind that. But I feel like anybody that doesn't have a VPN and uses HBO Max, I can't use it. Especially the Snyder Cut, because that, as much as me and you, we're skeptical, we'll get into that a bit more. But that is probably the biggest film that's going to come out this year. Definitely. So many people are waiting for that.
Unless there's some sort of Marvel movie coming out this year that I don't really know about. Maybe Black Widow will come out this year. That potentially
Black Widow just needs to come out on Disney Plus.
It just needs to come out on Disney Plus, man. Just give us Black Widow. I just want to see this movie. God's sake. It's ridiculous. So but shall we I mean, there's not much to say about the Mortal Kombat trailer. It's a trailer. Do you know what I'm saying?
It looks good. We're hopeful.
It looks good.
We just downloaded Mortal Kombat.
Same. I'm downloading it. I'm gonna beat the shit out of Finton, and
no, you're not.
You guys can watch. I am.
Yeah, that'll be next week's gameplay thing. We'll do me and G over in Mortal Kombat.
We might do a little retroactive review of Mortal Kombat 10, but we'll see. We might just end up playing the game multiplayer and having some fun on it. We'll see. But let's get on to the meat and potatoes of this particular video. The legendary Snyder Cut. So Finton is way more excited about this than I am, if I'm completely honest. I already
to be fair,
see
I had to explain this to Gio.
Fucking mess, but there is potential. So for anyone that's confused, I'm going to explain it the way Finton explained it to me because he made it make sense. I thought that this was Joss Whedon's movie with added scenes, and I was like, that's going to still be shit. Finton then explained to me that what actually happened is Zack Snyder filmed 95% of the movie. Then he had to leave because of scheduling issues. Joss Whedon stepped in, saw the footage, said, I don't like it, fuck this movie. So that was put to the side. And then Joss Whedon refilmed the whole movie. That everybody saw that was utter shit.
I want to say like 2 or 3 scenes from Snyder's stuff. That's why there's still some in the Snyder Cut that are from the original film. Because they are Snyder's property.
Yeah, there we go. So that's what happened there. So this is an entirely new Justice League movie. It's not a reimagining of Joss Whedon's one. It's completely different. And it's also 4 hours long, which is ridiculous. We complain about the length of like Avengers Endgame. And that
I was going to say Endgame.
And that's 3 hours long, right? It's over 3 hours, but it earns it because we've got 25 other movies all setting up to this one pivotal event in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that we are invested in because we've spent literally like 10 years, 15 years watching all the films building up to this point, the characters meeting and interacting. And like we were all really, really looking forward to this moment of Thanos finally being defeated. And it was beautiful. Justice League has done nothing to deserve this. The only reason people are excited for this movie is because it's Zack Snyder's version and we're hoping that it's not shit. I like the Justice League. Don't get me wrong. I like Batman and Superman. I even don't think
for a second I thought you just said for a second I just thought you said that you liked the Justice League movie. I was like, nope, we're ending this podcast right now. Goodbye.
No, I don't. I think I started watching the Justice League movie. I think it was on Netflix at some point, right? And I had to turn it off.
So sloppy.
It was so bad.
It's so obviously a recut. It's unbelievable.
And what is a shame is I really, really like Batfleck. I like Ben Affleck as Batman. I can't remember her name, but I really like Wonder Woman. She is
Gal Gadot.
Like Gal Gadot, that's it. She is so much better than absolutely anybody in this DC universe thing. The Flash, I've seen literally like 10 minutes of him. Aquaman, seen about 10 minutes of him. Even though I actually like Aquaman. Aquaman gets memed to shit, but I like Aquaman. Jason Momoa is cool, like, as Aquaman. Superman, we got Man of Steel. Man of Steel is great. I love that.
Man of Steel is good. So I will defend Man of Steel. Man of Steel is great.
It's a good Superman movie. It's darker, but I'm okay with it. Batman vs Superman, piece of shit. We don't need to talk about that, but there were still some cool moments in there, but it was a piece of shit movie. They did Batman so wrong in that movie, and just all the characters. But so when Justice League was announced, I wasn't excited for it. The Joss Whedon one, I was like, "What the fuck? Like, why?"
Yeah, I watched it on Netflix. I didn't go out my way to watch it. It took me a while to get around to it. Yeah,
same. Like, I think Cyborg as well. Like, Cyborg is such a cool character, and they were like, "Oh yeah, he's here in this movie somewhere," and it's like, what?
Explain, please.
Like, what? Like, why do these characters not have their own movies before an ensemble movie? But that's my negative take on it. But I am actually looking forward to the Zack Snyder cut. I'm skeptical, but the fact that it's 4 hours long, maybe we're going to get a good dedicated portion of movie to these characters and setting up who they are.
There is genuinely, there is only the biggest thing that I'm excited about for this film is probably going to be one of the smallest parts of it. Nice, like, spine shiver then as well.
Yeah, sorry, it's cold in my room, but what can you do?
Yeah, one of the things I'm most excited about from the trailer is the fact that it looks like Barry's actually going to get a backstory, unlike in the original where it's just, oh, he's got this layer, you're quick, let's go. Whereas now you're going to see Iris. Like, Iris is in the trailer, so clearly she's going to be in it a decent amount. I'm like, yes, just give me like, I love the Flash. We've made this very clear. Like, I love the TV newer episodes of the TV show. I don't like, but the original, like season 1, 2, 3, they were great. But I love the Flash just as a character. I love Batman as a character, and those two just got absolutely just absolutely abused by the script writing.
The problem with I just want to put this out there, right? With the original movie, so casual moviegoers might not know this, but the original Justice League movie was basically setting up the Injustice storyline. So the Injustice storyline, I don't know how much it's in the comics. The first I heard of it was from the games. But basically, in Injustice, somebody tricks, I think Joker manages to trick Superman into killing Lois Lane while she's pregnant or something.
Yeah,
even if she's not pregnant, exactly he kills his girlfriend. Superman, this makes him go mad. He kills Joker. And then he basically becomes dictator of the entire fucking world because he's Superman. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. And he becomes some characters.
Oh, what's the the Suicide Squad killed the Justice League? The Superman. It's Bizarro, isn't it? Is it Bizarro?
No, Bizarro is a different character, I swear. But
no, but the one in the trailer for the Suicide Squad kill the Justice League game. He basically becomes that.
He becomes evil Superman. Let's just call him that. But he becomes evil, and then certain heroes side with him, and other heroes do not. So Batman is opposed to him. And then also there's shit going on with different timelines. So heroes coming in from a different timeline before this happened, popping in and like trying to save people. And it sort of revolves around the Flash, like running through time and stuff like that. And they tried to set that up in the original movie again with like, they didn't earn that. That's a really cool storyline that they didn't deserve to tackle at that moment in time. Like the MCU is just now like 30 movies in and a TV show starting to even like tickle the multiverse, right? And Joss Whedon was like, I reckon we could just do it all in one movie with these characters who have no backstory and no one gives a shit about, other than the fact that they love them in the comics. It should be fine, and it wasn't. So I really hope Zack steers away from that. Another thing that I'm worried about.
There is actually, though, to be fair, on that subject, there in the trailer there is Barry in the Speed Force. You see him in the Speed Force. Well,
we'll see.
He might. But it's 4 hours, so I'm like, they might. Yeah, exactly. They might earn it because there's 4 hours.
It's 4 fucking hours, so we're gonna be there a long time. Another thing I'm a little bit worried about is the amount of villains. So we've got Steppenwolf. We've got the other guy, I can't remember his name. We've got Darkseid. Now there's another guy as well as Darkseid. We've got Granny Goodness, and we've also got the Joker that's like been thrown in there just like banter.
This is my theory right now. I am stating this as a fact, and if it's not true, then I don't know.
He'll give me 20 quid.
People can roast me in the comments. Joker in Justice League is going to be like Joker in Arkham Knight.
So you think he'll be like
not actually going to be a villain?
Type?
He's just, because you see him in 3 different costumes. Why is that going to work? He's in Batman's nightmare scene, which is just in his head, and he's got no reason to be there. He genuinely, especially the line at the end of that trailer that he gives. Oh my, that's the best thing in the entire trailer, by the way. If you haven't watched it,
I'm just thinking I'm just wondering how they're going to make it work, because Suicide Squad happened and Batman. So we know that Batman and Joker obviously.
Yeah, but why does he look so different? This is the reason I'm thinking.
No. I'm just saying.
He looks so different.
I'm just wondering, like, where along the timeline does this happen? Because we know that Suicide Squad happens, and then Harley Quinn manages to escape somehow. I think, doesn't she? She manages to do something.
I can't actually remember Suicide Squad.
Sorry, I just want to. Oh my god, I call all the DC films trash, and I always forget about this one. It's actually good. Birds of Prey is actually a good movie. I really liked Birds of Prey.
I have Birds of Prey right there, and I still haven't watched it. I've had it since the day it came out on DVD. Yeah.
Embarrassing.
Mate, have you not seen my wall? Like, I have an entire shelf here, an entire shelf over there. They're all just full of DVDs and Blu-rays and 4K Blu-rays.
I just digital, but yeah. Anyway,
I'm old-fashioned, all right.
Birds of Prey, good movie. If you should watch that. I wouldn't. Maybe I don't recommend paying money for it. Like, if you can find it on some sort of subscription-based service, then get it.
It's on Now TV. I'm pretty sure.
If it's on, there you go. Go and watch it there, because it's not worth like buying and keeping forever. Like, I saw it one time in the cinemas and I enjoyed it. But yeah, so like Harley Quinn, we know that the Joker's had a history in this world, so I'm interested to see where along the timeline.
The thing is, though, I know I'm going to probably do this, is sit there and be like, oh yeah, Joker will do something like they did in the Arkham games, and then he just won't. Like, I really want it to be something like that. I genuinely think that Jared Leto is so much more of a better Joker than he got in Suicide Squad.
He was in Suicide Squad for 5 minutes, so I can't say whether he was good or not. But I think I think it was
because people, I think they all went with just Joker's crazy rather than actually being like, no, this is like, there is so much more to the Joker than being crazy. Which just for for background, for me, the Joker is my favorite comic book character of all time. So like, I have got so many Joker comics, so many Joker graphic novels. I pretty much know. Actually, you know what? I can show you some of that I literally have just behind my camera. I have playing cards that came in the 3 Joker comics books that has got like the 3 different Jokers that they did in a recent DC comic Black Label.
That is really cool.
I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd, man. I'm a straight up nerd.
But yeah, I'm just worried about the movie, like, because that's another thing.
I think 4 hours is what's scaring me.
4 hours is an intimidating amount of time. Again, it's not earned in my opinion, but we'll just see. Like, but what I'm not annoyed about it, but I don't think Darkseid should be the villain. I don't think they should have any huge major villains like that yet, because it's not fair. Like, they didn't do anything to earn that. Like, when you think about the first Avengers movie, right? The villain was Loki, like fucking Loki. Like, he's not that big a deal. Fuck's sake.
It's not working because the camera's classing it as a green screen.
I know, yeah,
let me try it again. Let me try it again.
It was working a little bit. Hey! But yeah, man, like, that first villain was Loki, who was good, but he's not Thanos. He's not, Ronan the Accuser. He's none of these.
I think Darkseid will work as long as they don't use him as like they're going to defeat him in this film. As in, like, if they try and fight him and no, because this is the thing. If it's a 4-hour film, I feel like there's going to be something's going to go severely wrong. I'm fairly sure one of them isn't going to survive. One of them will be killed.
Weren't you telling me that this isn't canon?
It's debatable at the minute. I think it honestly depends on how much commercial success it's going to have.
Yeah, it depends on fan reception, I guess. If fans love it, then that's canon. That's scary, though. That is scary.
If fans are like, oh yeah, this is better than the original, then they'll probably make the Snyder Cut canon. But then Snyder said he's not doing any more films for DC. He said he's never working with DC again. So it's a very precarious thing for them to do. He'll be at Marvel
soon. Watch this space. He will soon be at Marvel. Kevin Feige will hire him.
Gio, did you miss the part where Snyder was the one that directed Batman v Superman?
Shit, yeah.
So don't bring him to Marvel because he'll ruin Marvel.
I always forget that.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
That's another thing. This is something that I like really struggle to understand, right? So we literally, like, 60%, 70% of DC fans shit on Batman vs Superman. We all agree it's not a good movie. It's not even really Batman vs Superman. It's Batman vs Superman for like 5 minutes, and then Batman
vs Superman versus Lex Luthor versus a
Martha. You know what I'm saying? He has a Martha hard on all of a sudden, and they become friends because of Martha, which is bullshit. I hate that is what brings Superman and Batman together.
It's so bad, especially when it's just that.
It could have been like the common thread that they both want justice in the world. It could have literally been anything, and instead it was, my dead mum has the same name as your mum. Let's be friends. Get the fuck out of my face. But so yeah, I mean, there's that. But yeah, so everyone's holding up Zack Snyder like he's some sort of god that is going to make Justice League better. And I'm like, bro, 4 hours, like, it might be 4 hours of pure shit.
I think it's definitely going to be good. No, the thing is, I feel like it is going to be good because
that's what we said about Batman v Superman. Look where we
are. No. Right.
Look where we are now.
Very true. But let me talk this through with you, because I can see you're getting very annoyed. So I'm going to chill this down a bit. But as in, everybody knows the weight that is on this film now. because of the fact everyone's wanted it for, when did the original Justice League come out? Like
2018.
Let me check. It's like, but it's been a decent number of years where people are like, we want the Snyder Cut. So I think they know the weight that's on this film, and the actors wouldn't have backed it and got it to where it is today, where it's actually being released if it wasn't good.
I guess so.
And that's my hope.
I mean, I am hoping it's good. I know I've been really negative about it, but it's just because I have...
Came out in 2017.
2017, I was close. I have my reservations
of like people wanting it, and there's clear. I don't know. I'm like, it wouldn't be happening if there wasn't some merit behind it. Like HBO Max wouldn't have seen the stuff that he had and been like, yeah, we'll risk putting you on.
Yes, they would have.
Literally,
think about the amount of money they're going to be making off of people just getting even just a 1 month subscription. And for example, me, right? This is the reason I'm scared to buy into HBO Max, right? Because I know that I will pay for 1 month of HBO Max, and then I'll go on HBO Max. I'll find one other movie where I'm like, that looks good, man. I'm gonna watch that, and then I'll end up paying for HBO Max for the rest of my life. So they will make money off of this deal that they've got.
Oh yeah, they will, absolutely. But
and they will make shit tons of money.
I think, something I genuinely am gonna do is I'm not gonna watch it the day it comes out.
Really?
Because it's going to be 15 quid that I'm going to put down basically the toilet through an American toilet to watch this film. So I'm like, I am waiting to see what it reviews as, because like the reviews will be out same day because it is so big. But like
we're going to review.
And you are going to review it.
We'll probably do like a longer, kind of like a podcast episode, maybe like a half hour to an hour long.
I have a feeling like we're going to need to do a podcast. Because if it is 4 hours long, we're going to have to do a podcast episode as a review.
What I will say is, guys, is the way it will probably work. We haven't completely decided this yet, but I'm imagining it will be like a really long episode of Uncut Reviews, the way we do it with WandaVision, where we just sort of sit down and discuss it and things we like.
But
it will be a massive spoilers discussion, but it'll be like 5 hours long.
Honestly, that'll probably be over an hour. Because if it's 4 hours of film, we're going to have a lot to talk about. And also, I'm probably going to watch it like 2 or 3 times before we actually review it. Because I will forget stuff if it's 4 hours long.
I'll watch it 1.5 times because 4 hours is a lot of time.
No, I'll just have it on in the background. Like, I'll watch it first time watch it intently. And then after that, just kind of watch it like whilst doing something else.
Yeah, definitely. You know what, guys? Like, I'm just hoping. I'm hoping that it is good, but I'm just skeptical about it, and I don't want to give anybody false hope. Like, this is going to be film of the century. Like, no, it probably won't be. It's probably going to be okay at best, in my opinion. Like, if it reaches, oh my god, this is great levels. More power to you. That's amazing. But I'm saying that I don't know if it will. But we will see soon. It's not long. It's not long now.
I think it's good. It's got to be good. It's got to be at least good. But it's whether it's going to be just skimming good and mainly okay, or whether it's actually really decent. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm hopeful.
We'll just have to see. We had a couple more things that we wanted to talk about. We won't spend too long on them.
Right. Let me just quickly bring this up because you know the point that we were talking about, right? There's been a development that kind of applies to the situation whilst we've been recording, because I opened Instagram once and the motorsport fan inside of me exploded. So basically, so what we were going to talk about is that Codemasters have been acquired by EA this week, and for anybody, I haven't actually spoken about it on this channel before, but I am a massive.
Sorry, I was just checking my notifications.
Codemasters F1 game fan. Like I play them. I league race on it. Like I spend like 20 hours a week playing this game. It's mental. So
if I can't get hold of Finton, I know he's in a league race. Basically.
Honestly, it genuinely is. Thursday nights. I'll put the link in the bio. I'll put the link down there. You can subscribe to the Twitch.
He's either playing league races or he's he's sifting through all of the women that have been adding him recently. So if you want a chance,
a single person has done that. So
that's not true.
Stop.
That's not true. I know he's had ads. I know he has. So if you find him very attractive, very beautiful, very sexy, you should there'll be links at the bottom. Click his Instagram. You know what I'm saying? But very beautiful man. But back to Codemasters. Back to Codemasters.
But yeah, so on the this is actually on the subject of F1 rather than Codemasters. But whilst we've been recording the podcast, which it's a Friday at the minute because we're recording a bit late, but F1 have announced the 3rd season of the new Netflix series. It's coming out March 19th, so I'm very happy about
that. A Netflix series about F1.
Yeah, they do this thing called F1 Drive to Survive, where it's basically like a I don't know if you've seen it, but it's basically like it's not a dramatization per se, but it just gives you a more in-depth look at the season rather than like from a fan's perspective. Yeah, they get like team bosses, drivers and stuff. They do interviews whilst going up. It's really, I absolutely love it. But yeah, I'm very glad that happened. But I'm very worried about the Codemasters thing, to be fair though.
I was gonna say it links into Codemasters as well, and I don't play racing games particularly. It's not my type of thing, but any studio that is bought by EA, I immediately go, fuck. Because
honestly,
EA is
I'm scared
for buying good talent and then wasting it and closing developers. I am honestly
Star Wars.
I'm so scared about Respawn, man. Because Respawn is so talented. Like, they've got such good devs there, such cool ideas. I am scared that they are going to get closed down.
I honestly think that EA have done something to stop Titanfall 3.
I think
Titanfall 3 should have been out by now. It should have been. It's been like 5 years.
It eats people's souls, man. EA is like, we want you. And they're like, no. And EA is like, have money. Just have it all. Respawn, make Star Wars, Apex Legends, loot boxes. Make it now. Do it. And the developers are like, and they can't say no because, yeah. And that's how I imagine the workplace environment is.
Yeah, this is the thing that scares me, is though, because they go so aggressive on monetization of sports games. Like I've read more into this than you probably have, Gio, but they basically said that they want Codemasters. Well, I mean, the news came out yesterday, so I kind of spent a long time reading it. But basically, EA is saying they want to keep Codemasters as like its own separate company. Like they're not changing anything. They're just going to go. Like, they just want to know, like, what kind of games are you making? How much money do you need? Do you need any extra investment? Stuff like that. But they're going to keep the company as itself rather than that. But they have said that they want to bring Codemasters in under the EA Sports title. And I'm like, oh, God, the monetization that's going to end up in these games, it's going to be so bad.
I think this is actually, like, a wider problem just in the industry, in the gaming industry now, is different devs being bought, different ideas being like sold. It's insane. Like the fact that Bethesda was bought by Microsoft for, was it like 7 billion or something, is insane.
I can't remember.
The fact that EA, it might be free.
To be fair though, on this subject, right? I think when PlayStation and Xbox, when they buy companies, the stuff look like they're not doing anything like they just want them as an exclusive. Yeah, they just want. Whereas EA and 2K,
Bethesda needed to be bought, in my opinion, because they have been going to shit since like Fallout 4. I'm sorry, but it has to be said. And I actually I'm not like a devout Fallout player, but I started Fallout 4. It was like the first ever RPG I'd actually like dipped into, and I enjoyed it. I didn't finish it or anything. I didn't even get very far into it because I wasn't very good at it, but I was enjoying playing it. But
I struggle with the shooting in Fallout 4 mainly. It's just really weird.
Yeah, exactly. It feels a bit clunky, I'd say. But after, after messing up Fallout 76 and just everything, it's murky.
Actually, this is bringing up another thing, right? This is just genuinely popped into my head. Fallout games have been so glitchy every time they launch, right? That's just a Bethesda thing.
Games. Yeah. All of Bethesda's games, man. Skyrim was bad. Skyrim to this day has like mad amounts of glitches in it.
So
Bethesda has tried to monetize mods before. Like they've been doing shady shit for a while now, and they needed to be bought by Microsoft because Microsoft
So what I don't get is this has been happening with like Fallout and every Bethesda title since like the sliced bread began. But why is like and it's not a big deal. Like nobody seems to really care. But then
it is a big deal.
But as in like it's not as widely covered as the example I'm about to give. But then Cyberpunk does the exact same thing, and suddenly it's the end of the world.
I think the difference is that Bethesda games actually work and are finished usually with glitches, whereas Cyberpunk was just fucked and very clearly unfinished and had content ripped out of it and just loads of problems. And if you're wondering why I've suddenly switched perspective, my Mac was dying and I needed to charge it, and yeah, so here we are now. But that's a whole different topic. We'll talk about that at a later date, man, because that's some crazy shit. But Bethesda,
it's cancel culture reached video games.
Yeah, it really did. I feel sorry for CD Projekt, man, but yeah, now Bethesda needed to be more. But on the subject of EA specifically and like Codemasters, scary stuff.
I'm scared.
I'm telling you,
I'm so
it's
scared.
Scary stuff.
Because I've played. For context, like, because I've never said it on this channel before, I'll do the little deep dive now. I've been playing F1 games since F1 2012, so 9 years at this point. I play them every year religiously. Like, you like how people have like the FIFA thing. I'm like, I will play story games and then I will go play F1. It's just what I do. They're like the two games.
That's your like chill game.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, it's not when I league race. It's very stressful, but
obviously,
it's honestly the most stressful thing on earth. But it's fun because I love F1. Like, besides gaming, F1 is like the biggest other interest in my life. So like, and just the idea of EA buying this, very true. Just it scares me because like you look at FIFA, you look at how like Ultimate at this rate. They're going to make you pay for a track in F1.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because that's effectively what they do with FIFA. It's you have to pay for a player.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrifying. Man. You'll have to pay for a car.
Bad. But the thing is, do you know why this happens, right? Is because I swear EA made like 70% of their revenue. They made over $1 billion in microtransactions.
On micro, yeah. They make most of their money off micro. That's why they won't get rid of them.
And this is the problem. Like, people that play games love to say, oh, fucking microtransactions. I do it all the time. I always complain about microtransactions. I gave Destruction All-Stars a 4 out of 10 in our review. If you haven't watched that, go watch it.
To be fair, I actually didn't finish that review.
You didn't finish? What do you mean?
I didn't finish watching it, so I never saw what score you put at the end. I was just like checking that the audio and that the gameplay was decent. I was like, all right, I know Gio knows what he's doing here, so as long as they're fine, I don't need to add anything here.
This guy, but I gave it a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, we'll put that up there. We'll put that up in the iCard so you can watch it.
It'll be somewhere, but and the reason for that was the microtransactions. I gave it a 5 originally and then lowered it to a 4 because of the microtransactions. So I really hate them, and I have a massive problem with them. And yet the other day I was playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, a game which I don't even like that much. Like, I've deleted it now that I've finished it, the story. And I spent like $3.99 on like a set of armor. Like, I don't know why I did that, because I deleted the game. It's gone. It's not on my system anymore. And yet I still did that. Like, it's dumb as hell, but these companies, man, they do entice you. Because the problem with Valhalla,
I have no words.
The problem with Valhalla specifically, and listen, you'll understand when I explain this, and anyone that's played Valhalla and even looked at the store for like 2 minutes understands this. The best armor in Valhalla, all the coolest looking shit, like, that's the reality of it. And finding armor in Valhalla is so long. If you want to find one set of armor in Valhalla, it could honestly take you like over an hour.
I paid for Valhalla
because it's spread out.
Just within 2 minutes, I was like, No, I mean, I paid
£41 for Valhalla, luckily, because I found it on sale on the PSN store.
I paid 50, so I found it on offer. I found it on offer for the PS5 version. It was still.
That's why I thought, okay, I don't mind spending this little £3 right now, because I haven't even paid full price for the game, so it's kind of justifiable. But like I said, I've deleted the game, man. It's not even all that. It's okay. I should have reviewed it, to be fair, but it's an okay game.
Now that we've actually got it going, right, we genuinely can start like reviewing stuff. Now that we've actually started with Destruction All Stars, we're like, as long as we've got a game, we'll probably review it. Just need you to buy a capture card so we don't have to both buy the game.
Yeah, exactly. But we don't talk about that. No, I'm playing. But now we are going to do that. Obviously, it's a matter of waiting for different games to come out. But if you guys want to see us maybe go back to old games, like, if there's a game that you're thinking about that's maybe like 2-3 years old,
Mortal Kombat 10,
30-40 quid. Mortal Kombat 10, maybe by any chance. But
To be fair, anything on the PS Plus collection, we could do God of War. I'm about to finish it, so we could actually just do God of War.
Yeah, we could do. We might do a retroactive review of God of War in that case. Stay tuned.
But, it is our first time. Like, Gio's only just finished it. Honestly, this has just become a business meeting rather than a podcast.
We got too much going on, guys. That's what the problem is. We got too much good stuff going on. But yeah, man. Codemasters. That's what we were talking about.
I mean, there's not much to it, to be honest. It's just like it's just scary more than anything. Because I'm like, they're gonna get monetized so hard. The thing is, though, do you know what the scariest part is? Is because I've been so loyal to the company by playing their games for 8 years, I will buy the monetizations, whatever they are. Because I'm like,
really? So you're going to spend like let's say it's like they put £10 per different track in the game. You're going to spend that.
Yeah, exactly. Say they make you pay for a track. I'm going to be honest. I probably will. I don't think they can because I'm like, crazy. That's going to be. There will be outrage.
COD does it. COD does map packs.
But the entire the thing is though with COD. Is it's not a set thing. With F1, it's set drivers, set sponsors, set tracks. Like, if they put that behind paywalls, then I'm fairly sure World War III will start. Because then they're saying you have to pay more to play what the game is anyway.
It's going to happen, I'm telling you. Shit like this is going to happen. Watch. It's scary and it's horrible.
It will. I know it will. I'm scared.
When it does, I will be there and I will remind you that I said this, and
he'll be laughing at me when I'm broke.
I'll make sure you don't spend hundreds of pounds on this bullshit. But on staying on the topic of games, shall we talk about something that we're actually looking forward to? And it's kind of DC. Well, it's not kind of. It is DC related.
Sure.
The Arkham Knights game coming out this year. We talked about it before. We talked about it on the
You got the name wrong. It's Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights. So, do you know why I did that? Because I've just re-downloaded Arkham Knights, and I can.
Did it again.
I know I did. I was hoping you wouldn't notice, but yeah, I've just re-downloaded that on the PS5. I don't know if there's like a patch for it or anything for the PS5.
I don't think there is. I think it just will run better. I'm just hoping it runs better.
Hopefully, but regardless of whether
it's on the PS Plus collection,
yeah, exactly, and the graphics on that game are just unreal. They're fucking amazing. So I wanted to play it.
Oh, we're here. Let me just see if I've got it installed.
Because
now we've started talking about the whole Joker, like in the different bits, like in Arkham Knight. It's got me like I want to play the game again. Have I got it installed, or do I need to install it? It's installed. I've got it installed. It's all good.
I have a theory that Joker is actually. Sorry, not Joker. I have a theory that Batman's not dead in the Gotham Knights game.
I think he has to be. I think he has to be.
Think he has to be. I think because they've brought the Court of Owls into it.
The game doesn't work though. If they don't do that, the game doesn't work.
No, but I'm saying story-wise, he won't be dead. So you might not get to play as him, but he will have been captured by the Court of Owls and put like.
Oh, I hope they don't do that.
Or some bullshit because.
Right. On the subject of being put to sleep cryogenically, we saw the mistake that was made with this guy. Let's not do it again in Gotham Knights.
So stupid.
Also, on this subject, right? You know how I paid 200 quid for this collector's edition? I saw it on Game yesterday for 70.
Dickhead. I might buy that just to spite you, but no, I'm not going to because the game is
shit.
Please do not buy Avengers. Do not buy Avengers. Do not waste your money.
To be fair,
never
actually,
going to be good.
It would never be good. I've just instantaneously linked us into another piece of news this week. We got the announcement of when the Avengers update is for the PS5 and Xbox Series X.
Yeah. And we're getting Hawkeye on the same day.
Yeah.
Does anyone give a shit? No, they don't.
Nope. I think a lot of games now, I'm just like, I'll wait for the PS5 upgrade. So I'll give Avengers a go again when the update's out because I'm like, I did genuinely enjoy the campaign. The online, like game as a service bit is utter crap. But I really enjoyed the story.
I played the demo, right? And I just want to put this out there. I know we were talking about Gotham Knights, but this is on my head now. When they announced the Avengers game, I was like, oh my God, yes. Because I'm like a massive Marvel.
The announcement trailer looked so incredible.
Then they showed gameplay at E3 or wherever it was. And I thought, something about this game is off. There's something about it that I don't get. I don't like it. But benefit of the doubt, like at this point, no one had hands on yet. Then that really cringy thing came out of like all the different YouTubers playing, and they were like, "Oh my god, this is what I've always wanted in the game. Just take my money. I want to play it right now." And it was just cringe, and it was obviously really.
They clearly were paid. They were clearly paid to do it.
They were paid to do that. It was disgusting. I hated it, but yeah. But that kind of made me think that I was like, even though it's very obviously they've been paid, maybe they wouldn't take the money if it wasn't actually good. So maybe they are actually enjoying it. Then I played the beta.
The beta gives you such a wrong impression, though. I've got to say.
The beta made me realize, fuck this game. I don't want to play this game.
If you played... No. The beta screws you over royally. I am going to say that. The original game, like the actual game, is so much better than the beta. Because the beta is giving you the game as a service bit, which is horrendous. Whereas if you play the actual...
You play through 2 story missions.
Yeah, but they give you the 2 worst story missions to do. Basically, every other mission is so much more interesting.
I've seen I stay like in a loop on these things. I watched gameplay of different story missions, and all of it just looks the same to me. All the characters essentially play the same as well. They all feel shit. That opening mission where you're on the Golden Gate Bridge and you are 4 and you're like hitting guys like 4 times in Mjolnir. They're regular guys, man. Why am I hitting them 4 times in Mjolnir? That don't make no sense. 1 hit from Mjolnir and their head should come off. You know what I'm saying? These guys are not gods. But that game was shit. Let's just hope Arkham.
Yeah, but you see, this is the thing, though. This is the thing.
I did it again. You say that. I called it Arkham Knight.
Yeah, you actually did. I noticed. I was gonna let that go that time. But what I was gonna say, I don't know why I just picked up my glass. It's empty. But I honestly don't know. I picked up my phone and then was like, right, I'll pick up the glass. I was messing with something from my Death Star. Like, I don't know.
I'm really thirsty. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah.
But the thing. Oh god, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. So you know how you're like, oh, yeah, getting hit around the head with Mjolnir once should kill you? Tell that to the MCU. Look how many times Thor has to hit somebody for them to die in the MCU.
That ain't true.
Mate, have you watched Age of Ultron? He has to yeet people like 6 times.
Different robots, though. Robots are at least made of metal. It makes a bit more sense. Humans, soft, fleshy humans. You know what I'm saying? Look at my skin.
But have armor on.
Nah, it was
It's exactly the same as a robot. I will defend the story. Everything else I will say is horrendous, but I will defend
the story. Is cool from what I've seen. The story's kind of cool, but I don't like the fact that they were setting up a sequel because fuck them, they don't deserve a sequel. But
wait, what?
They
didn't. The story just ended.
Yeah, they did.
There's no setup.
Nah, the scientist lady at the end talking to like the board of directors and shit, going, "Oh yeah," and it turns out she was really in charge. Like they're obviously setting something up with her.
They're definitely not.
Nah, they will be. Or at least maybe not.
That set up the Avengers Initiative. So like the Kate Bishop, the Hawkeye, and all of that. That's what that set up. It's not set up another game. It's just set up going into the Avengers Initiative rather than actually a sequel to the game.
Fair play. But back to the Gotham Knights. Fucking hell, every time.
How many times, bro? It's not difficult.
I'm actually worried that this is going to have games as a service elements, just because it's supposedly co-op, which
it's entirely co-op. You can play the entire thing co-op.
I don't need that, man. I really don't need that.
To be fair, if the situation does one, and like I can actually have friends around, I have spoken to one of my friends, and he was like, "Yeah, I would totally play most of that co-op." Like if we had the opportunity, we were like playing that co-op would be very fun. Especially if you could do online co-op, that would be very fun to me. Like I genuinely see myself enjoying that. But if it's 2 people in the same room, I'm like, exactly. Couch co-op, I'm like, that's going to be painful more than anything.
See, for me, I'm a person, I like to play my single player stories single player, and I like to enjoy them by myself, not sitting there discussing it with somebody. Oh, what did he say? What? Like, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to listen too. I don't know what he said because you're talking. You know what I mean? Like, So I personally will not be playing the game in co-op. I might hop in with you because we're both going to get.
Yeah, I'll try bits with you and
maybe do a bit with you in co-op, but I won't be like experiencing the game in co-op. I'll just be playing through as you know what? A mechanic that a lot of co-op games need that you can also play single player need to bring it in is, sounds stupid, but the Lego games mechanic of just pressing a button and you just swap to another character instantaneously, and you are then playing as that character, and you just that's such a good mechanic. Why do other games not do that? And I hope, or like GTA does it, for example, but not as quickly. And I just hope that maybe they incorporate that, because I don't want to like go into a game as Nightwing, and then I don't want to go into a game as like Nightwing and be playing as Nightwing, and then halfway through I'm like, oh, like actually I don't want to be Nightwing right now. I'd rather play as Red Hood, and it's like, no, you can't do that.
What I don't want though is if they give you all the characters from the start. I'm like, they need to give you time with one character to get used to the dynamic, like to the setup, rather than just going, oh yeah, here's everybody. Like, here's everyone at once, work out who you like. I'm like, that feels very multiplayer to me rather than a story.
I think what I'd like to do, right, because we know that Batman's dead, but what would be cool is if maybe they did like a little, what they call like a prequel to that happening. So maybe we play it as all of the characters, but with Batman in a scenario where we're with Batman, and like that way we get to learn each character's skill set and stuff, like a mini tutorial with Batman. So then we're connected to this Batman, even though we know he's gonna die. We are connected to him, and then when it's like, I died, guys, please protect Gotham, it's like, yeah, I feel inclined to do that because I spent time with you and you taught me morals and you guided me.
My biggest issue with this is I know it's a Rocksteady. I always get Rockstar and Rocksteady messed up, but I know it's a Rocksteady game. But
it's not. It's Warner Bros. Montreal.
Oh Jesus, yeah, I get it. It's Suicide Squad, isn't it? That's the Rocksteady game. But my issue with Gotham Knights is they're going to try and make it a new Batman and make it a Batman I don't care about. Whereas if they'd just gone with the Arkham Batman, then I would have been like, I love that. Like, that is my favorite Batman.
This is why, me and Phantom were talking about this the other day, but this is why I think he will be in the game, right? Because so Batman in the Arkham verse is also dead. It's really like, we don't really know, but he's basically dead.
It's debatable.
Mostly, as far as
he becomes Nightmare.
But like, for the sake of argument, let's say dead, right? So
if you by the way, I know this isn't actually something that most people know, but because most people don't 100% Arkham Knight, but if you 100% Arkham Knight, he goes in and activates the Nightfall protocol and ends up blowing up himself and Wayne Manor. But then there's a scene at the end that shows the is it Man-Bat? I can't, coming through a flame, so it's debatable as to whether he's dead.
We don't know if it's Man-Bat, if it's maybe Robin has taken up the Batman mantle, but is using fear gas. It's really uncertain. We don't know. But let's just say, for the sake of my argument, that Batman is dead, right?
Oh, so yeah.
The Rocksteady Batman's dead. They've moved on to Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, which is set in the Arkhamverse. Probably after Batman Arkham. I doubt it would be during those games. I just don't feel like that would happen.
They wouldn't have been able to do it with Batman alive, so I feel like it is after it. Because that's why Batman Superman's the villain.
Exactly. So Batman must also be dead in that game. And then, Batman is one of Warner Bros. bigger IPs. You're telling me that they're gonna make a game Batman related and but kill Batman in that too? Piss off. Batman has to be alive somewhere because they want to make Batman.
I honestly think they're doing, because Warner Bros. Made Into the Spider-Verse as well, didn't they? No, it's Sony. That's Sony. Yeah, I honestly, mate, you'll get us copyrighted. Don't do that.
My singing's so good.
Yeah, exactly. It's so on point. No, but what I honestly think is they've seen that Sony are doing the right, let's move away from the main character, like move away from the Spider-Man and go to the Miles. So I think Warner Bros. Are doing the same of going, let's move away from the Batman and do the awesome array of side characters they have and get them more into people's knowledge. Because like as a comic book person, I know a load about Red Hood, Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin. Like I do. But most people's knowledge of Robin is going to be from the Dark Knight trilogy, where you don't even see him as Robin. You just get hinted
He's
that
not
he
even
is Robin. Yeah. So I'm like, I feel like they're trying to push them more mainstream now. Like as a comic book person, you know exactly who they are, but to regular viewers,
no. I'm not saying that won't happen, but like I'm not a comic book person. I still know who like Red Hood is, for example, and people like that.
Oh yeah, but is it like you don't know every single person that's been Robin kind of thing? Like that's something that only a comic book person that reads too many comics knows.
I know quite a few of them, but that's besides the point, I guess. Like what I was going to say is I do agree with you. Like bringing them more into the mainstream is cool, but Warner Bros. I feel like I've got a bit of cynicism towards Warner Bros. And I just don't know if they're making this game for that intention. I think they're making this game more so because it's a Batman IP. They can use Batman characters, and I think this will set up more Batman in the future, and we'll get more Batman because Batman's going to be alive. Because Court of Owls is a big Batman thing. Like it's really, like it's deep. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
I think because they're not even like the main villain of the game, are they? I think they've just been hinted at so far.
They've been so before Gotham Knights was actually announced, they were teasing Court of Owls, but they're not actually in the trailer, I don't think.
They are right at the end. There's a talent.
Oh, it's the box that opens, isn't it? It's like that goes into the head of the box and then you see that out. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they are. I couldn't remember if I'd just seen that as like a fan thing or if that was the real thing. It's been a long time since I've seen the trailer.
Yeah, same to be fair, but the talents are confirmed. So Court of Owls is confirmed in the game. We know that we are getting that. I'm uncertain as to whether they will really keep Batman dead, because even Rocksteady, who like made the whole Arkham trilogy, couldn't
they were like
100% killing Batman. They were like, yeah, we killed him. Is this Nightmare Batman? You know what I mean? Like
I really wish they would. I want to see a game or a movie just go, he's like, enter any major superhero, just he's gone. Screw that you want him back. Just he is dead.
Do you want me to tell you something?
Oh, sure.
Spider-Man 2 will do that with Peter Parker. Peter Parker will die in Spider-Man 2.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope. That's not happening.
Yep. I think
no, because they wouldn't have give Miles his own game if that was happening. They would have done that in Spider-Man 2. No, they wouldn't. Because why then make us go through the same thing that's annoying everybody of going, here's the origin story?
No. I'm not saying he will die during the game. I'm saying at the end of the game, he will die. And then Miles will take over.
I would hate that because of the fact we've been given... I don't think that's the Insomniac way, because Insomniac have gone, no, we're not giving you the Spider-Man origin. We're giving you the 8 years into Peter Parker's life. So then why give us the Miles origin just for Miles then to become Spider-Man? That seems like they're just going, we thought, like, this is what gave us loads of commercial success, and now we're just going to go to back what makes it safe. And I'm like, that if it's possible, I'll give you that. It just seemed genuinely plausible that they could do that. But it would annoy me to hell if they did. Because I love Spider-Man, like the Peter Parker in Insomniac games. It's beautiful.
I love Spider-Man too, man. I love the guy that plays him, Yuri. I can't remember his name, but his name's Yuri. He's actually married.
Lowenthal. That's it. Yuri Lowenthal.
That's it. And he's actually married to the character in the game called Yuri, which is funny. I found that out the other day. So that's why Captain Watanabe. Captain Watanabe is played by his wife. And he is obviously
I will tell you something right now that will happen. Yuri's going to be a villain in Spider-Man 2.
Oh yes, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm really looking forward to
she is a villain in Spider-Man 2. I don't care.
I am really looking forward to that. I can't wait to that.
To be fair, you know that you've brought it up, I think they might kill Miles.
They better not, man, because I
think they might kill Miles because that's going to hurt more. Rather than killing Peter, what would, like, think about it right now, what would hurt more? Peter dying or Miles dying? Because we've seen Peter die so many times. Like not in TV and stuff, but as in like we've seen the Peter die and come back thing. But if they killed Miles and made Peter deal with it, like Insomniac have gone there, they've killed Aunt May. Like they've shown they're not afraid to. So I think they could.
But that's what
Miles.
I mean. That's what I'm saying. That's why I kind of feel like perhaps Peter won't survive the next game because they killed May. They were like, we don't give a fuck about your feelings. We're killing May. They killed May.
But then why kill Peter?
I don't know, man. I just feel like they're gonna go. Happen. I feel like that could be.
They're gonna go. Here's a game of him dealing with like it probably won't be because I doubt it's gonna be that big of an issue. But like here's a game of him dealing with the grief that Aunt May is now dead. But that's not shown in Miles, which I think Miles would be the one where it's the most prevalent.
Miles is set a few months after that happened, whereas this game is set like what 2 years?
No, it's not. Miles is set literally a week after literally 3 days after the DLC. Because I played them back to back. So at the end of the DLC, Peter and MJ say that they're going away because MJ's got work. And then that's exactly where Miles Morales picks up because Peter's leaving with MJ. Is literally 2 days apart.
But isn't the DLC set a good time after?
No, the DLC's set. I want to say it's like 3 weeks after the end of the main game. But the DLC goes straight into Miles Morales.
Sorry, I might be wrong. I think maybe that Spider-Man 2 is meant to be set 6 months after all the events. So maybe that's where I've pulled 6 months from.
That sounds plausible. I'd give you that. Yeah.
So you would have had a decent amount of time to deal with it, and I'm sure it'll be brought up, but it won't be like a key driving thing. I don't think. I think it's going to be more like. I think we're going to see more of his relationship with MJ because they're actually together now. We're going to see more of his relationship with Miles. There might be a little bit of conflict between him and Miles. I'm maybe thinking, but I don't know. We know that
who's gonna? Actually, now you brought out who would die
is going to be in the game.
I completely forgot about that. I honestly completely forgot. He is going to be in it, isn't
Imagine
it?
If,
Venom. Like I won't say whose is Venom, but Venom will be in it.
No, we can talk spoilers, just major spoilers for the Spider-Man games, right?
Well, Miles Morales, mainly Miles Morales.
And the end of Spider-Man PS4.
No, but the original one's been out long enough now. You should know who was in it. True. But
just for reference, this is probably going to be the last
main villain
we talk about, I guess.
Yeah. We're going two different ways there.
I was like, what? So yeah, this is going to be the last thing we talk about today in depth. So if you really don't want spoilers, like feel free to turn the podcast off now. That's absolutely fine. But thank you for staying with us this long. But yeah, I think
we've been going that long. My headphones just died.
I think the next Spider-Man game is going to have 3 villains. It's going to have Harry Osborn as a Venom type character. It's going to have his dad as the Green. It's going to have his dad as Green Goblin because that was hinted at. But I don't know if we'll actually get him as Green Goblin. We might get a hint.
I genuinely think we need Green Goblin because
he's
Green
got
Goblin
a prototype
is going to be
helmet
perfect in that universe.
Yeah, I
like the fights you could have, the character, the time you've got to develop the character, his relationship with Harry that you already know about. Like it will be better than Spider-Man 2, and like the original Spider-Man. Like in the Green Goblin, it will be better than them, and I'll just. It's all I want. I just want good games.
The third villain that is one. Yeah, no, I agree with everything you're saying though. But the third villain went over my head, and I only heard about him from watching somebody else discuss the end of Miles Morales. People actually think it's Kurt Connors, the Lizard.
No,
he's apparently the scientist that Norman is speaking to at the end of Miles Morales.
Oh no! Do you know what? I'll let the emo Peter come out now for this. The emo Peter will arrive. The emo Peter will arrive. No, no.
Do you not like him?
Have you seen the original Amazing Spider-Man?
Bro, I like. First of all, you're the one that loves the Amazing Spider-Man 1. But I like.
I love the Amazing Spider-Man 2. The first one is trash.
No, the Amazing Spider-Man 1 is way better than the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
No way. But have you seen the suit in that game? That film is horrendous. He has black eyes.
Who cares? The whole movie is way back. We'll talk about that at a different time. We need to discuss all the Spider-Man movies at a different time. But Kurt Connors is a cool villain.
You're hurting my soul right now.
Lizard is cool. I like Lizard. But I don't want him to
better
be a
than
villain.
fair enough. But the character was just the character development in that first film for him was just horrendous.
It wasn't great, to be fair.
It was just, Peter's given him the code. Oh no, now he's gonna become a lizard. Oh no, please be more goddamn generic.
Yeah, he was like, I'm gonna turn all of New York into lizards. Everyone deserves to be a lizard. And it was like, what? Okay.
Oh no, I'm going to kill the girlfriend's dad. Oh no, like it's
that was sad though.
So easy to predict. No, Gwen Stacy's death in the second one though, that is still one of the worst deaths in history to be like. That still hurts my soul to this day. Like when I watch it, I'm still.
I think that was really shit, but it wasn't necessary at all. But
whatever. Oh my god, yeah. But it's the one movie that's done it, so I'm like, I respect it.
Yeah, I respect it for trying at least, I guess. But it was bad, in my opinion. But I don't want to see. I don't like this trend that we're seeing of multiple villains in fucking everything. Just give me one good villain. Like, I'd be more than happy if the only villain is Harry as Venom. I'd be okay with that.
Actually, to be fair, perfect example of this in the Spider-Man world. Look at, like, I know everybody hates the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I like it, but I'm just gonna, for the sake of argument's sake here, I'm gonna go critically. Everybody hates the Amazing Spider-Man 2, right? But then look at Far From Home, only had not Far From Home, sorry, Homecoming only had Vulture. Far From Home only had Mysterio, and now they're going to do they're going to do so many villains and stuff in the third one, and I'm like, this could be bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about because about
there was actually
Sam
something
Raimi
in the bottom of
trilogy.
the cup I didn't realize.
Nice. Think about the Sam Raimi trilogy, right? We had Green Goblin in the first movie, excellent. Doc Ock in the second movie. Excellent. One of the best villains ever on cinema. In the third movie, we got Venom, we got Sandman, and we got Hobgoblin or whatever the fuck he's called. New Goblin? Is it New Goblin? I don't know.
I don't even remember. I haven't watched it in years.
We got Harry Osborn as Green Goblin, right? And I like Franco as Harry. I actually think he's pretty cool as Harry, and he plays him well. But we didn't need 3 villains. Just give us Venom. We could have just had Venom, and that would have been fine. Or we could have just had Sandman.
There needs to be a decent Venom versus Spider-Man movie. It's taken so long. I'm like,
you know what? If they bring in the Venom character, what's his name? British guy that plays Venom.
Tom Hardy.
If they bring Tom Hardy into Spider-Man 3, Tom Holland Spider-Man 3, and Tom Holland gets to fight against Tom Hardy's Venom.
It's already got the Sinister Six, though. It's already got the Sinister Six in it.
Oh, is it the Sinister Six? Never mind then. Fuck that. But,
yeah, that's why they've brought in Doc. That's why they brought in Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2 to fill it out, because they've got Vulture, they've got Mysterio, they've got Doc Ock now. Who are the rest in there? There'll be a Green Goblin of some denomination that will appear. I'm fairly sure that'll end up being, yeah.
That might be Willem Dafoe. I'd be happy to see that.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, Willem Dafoe has been seen on set, so it probably is. Yeah, mate, I read too much news. Who are the other ones in the Sinister Six? There's 2 more, but I can't think of them for the life of me. Rhino
and Scorpion, isn't it?
Scorpion, that's it. Yeah, Scorpion's Scorpion will appear at some point. They'll probably be the 2 that just get roped in because they're just there. Or if they're doing if they're going to do the multiverse thing, they're both already in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Like, you see the suits at the end, so they could just do that.
Very true. Very true.
There's Alexei who's Rhino, and then they just have to flesh out Scorpion and everyone else we already know.
Some real shit, man. But yeah, I think that's everything, isn't it, for today that we wanted to talk about?
Honestly, we've been going for an hour and a half. It's been a long time.
It's a good one this week, but yeah, there was just some news we wanted to talk about, some things that came. We just.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to see us talk about more news, then just we generally it's just a nice conversation. But if you want us to talk, we can do more news stuff. Like, I actually really enjoy these because I end up reading loads myself. I'm someone to discuss it with. I do really enjoy it.
We're always happy to cover like any entertainment news and stuff like that. And if you want us to do more, I don't know about politics because I'm not a political person really.
No, I'm gonna be honest. I will steer away from that because that will come back to bite me in the backside in 10 years when I go for a job.
Yeah, true say. We'll steer away from things like politics, but world news, things that you want to hear about, things that you want our opinions on, just always.
We can fully do fan theories as well. Like we could easily do a thing of like what we want to see as
fan theories. Me and Finton come up with fan theories just when we're recording these things. So fan theories is not a problem. But yeah, thank you all for sticking with us, watching, listening.
Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're still here. God knows if you are, because it's been a while. But you know,
make sure you do like and subscribe because
and share, please, because we're on the way to 50 followers, and I would subscribers, not followers. Also, just like to say, as an incentive to people, if they've got this far, right? It's my birthday on the 12th of March. It would be very much appreciated if we could have 50 subs by then. I mean, I'm not begging, but it would be a very nice birthday.
He also wants, he told me that for his birthday, he wants a girlfriend. So, girls.
Oh my God, you've done it twice. Once I can deal with, but twice.
2 times, motherfucker. But yeah.
Screw it, we're ending it here. We're done. Good. No,
Thank you for watching and
see you next week.
Time.